So speaking of Shaq, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out because I think it's funny. But this is like kind of veering off course into the more hypothetical and just kind of a random question that I thought of that might be interesting. You have a MMA background. You're into fighting, so I'm interested to get your take on this. How many Earl Boykins would it take to take down Shaq? How many could he fend off before there were too many and he was taken down?
Now, that is a hilarious question. And I want to point this out. Earl Boykins was probably 5'5", 5'6", somewhere along those lines.
Yeah.
There were stories of him benching 3 plates. So he wasn't like a 5'6", 5'7" accountant.
You can't be if you're in the NBA. If anything, you have to be more athletic than anyone.
But nonetheless, he was able to bench 315 according to reports. So I think that's advantage going in his favor. Obviously, one-on-one, that's out of the question.
Right.
2-on-1, I think Shaq still takes him. I think the magic number is 3.
You think 3 Earl Boykinses would take down Shaq?
Yes, because Earl Boykins is a strong. He's not like it's not like if it was like a 5'6" regular guy, that number goes way up. No doubt.
Yeah.
But Earl Boykins is a strong guy, and he's an NBA athlete. And I think if you can kind of catch him from behind and like topple the big fella down, then you might have a chance. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I think that number is higher, man. I just think Shaq, especially like NBA, I'm not even going to say prime Shaq, but let's just say like NBA shape Shaq. I'm thinking that number is closer to 10, man.
No way.
I'm thinking he's knocking these guys out with one punch each, or catching them with an elbow, bro. I think
it depends on the Earl Boykins scenario plan. If they're like lining up in a straight line and Shaq's knocking them out one after the other.
I picture them attacking like the Ninja Turtles, like from all angles, kind of
someone gets them from behind and they starts choking them.
Throws them. I feel like Shaq. If there was, first of all, how could an Earl Boy? They would have to stand on top of each other to get to his neck.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's
like you'd have to jump up and try to grab his neck.
You have to topple the big fella. Otherwise, you have no shot.
You'd have to go for the knees.
If I was in Shaq's shoes, what I would do in that scenario was I would fight with my back facing the wall, so I can't get attacked from behind.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then if that happens, the number goes way up. So there's circumstances.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
Is it prime Shaq? Is he against the wall? Does Earl Boykins have a step ladder? There's all kinds of things that you take into consideration.
I'm thinking no step ladder, no back against the wall scenario. Not prime Shaq. I don't even know what, I don't know when I guess his Orlando days, he was probably in his physical peak.
No. Early Shaq
in terms of
Lakers
athleticism, maybe a couple first years on the Lakers, but then he started gaining weight here. And,
but he still retained the athleticism. He was just a bigger version of that for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm thinking that number is closer to 10. I don't have an exact answer for you. I feel like 8 and up, he'd start getting tired. I think the thing is there needs to be enough of them pestering him where he loses the stamina. And he becomes tired, and that's when he could potentially go down.
What you don't realize is that it is very difficult to fend off multiple attackers. So it just depends on how it plays out.
Yeah.
I think 10 is outrageously high. I think given your points of view, what your argument is, 3 might be on the lower side. But
so we'll call it 5, Earl Boykins.
5 max, though. At a certain point, it's just like manpower. You know what I mean?
It's just, I don't know. It's tough. All right, we'll say 5, but
we'll call it at 5.
Yeah, we'll call it at 5. All right.